Hello everyone. So this is a brief demonstration to go over the process that you will need to follow in order to gain access to your Microsoft Azure environment for the Digital Forensics 1 course. You will be getting an email similar to the one that you see displayed on my screen. I will be sending the email to your Western Connecticut State University email account. So the email will be coming from Microsoft Azure and a note will be given to register for lab. Now, the name of the lab is ethical hacking in the email. However, you can disregard that name because the lab is actually for Digital Forensics 1, which is the message that you see right here on the bottom. So all you need to do is click on the link that says register for the lab, which is the one that I am pointing at. You click on that link and you will be taken to a different window that is the Azure Lab Services window. You will need to utilize your Western Connecticut State University email account to access that particular window. So in my case, since I sent the email invite to my personal email account, you see this one highlighted here. So I'm gonna select it. And then it's gonna bring me to the Azure Lab Services. You can see the message registering for lab services, and now I have access to my virtual machine. Again, you can disregard the name ethical hacking. The name is the label that I used for a different class that I was teaching. In this case, it is a dedicated system that I set up for you for the digital forensics class. All you need to do is click on the Start Virtual Machine. It's gonna take a couple of minutes at least to get your virtual machine boot up. And you need to wait for those 2 minutes. In the meantime, what you can do is you can click on Show RDP Information by clicking on the three dots that are depicted here on the bottom. Once you do that, you're going to select it and this message will come up. You will need to copy the link because this will be the link to the virtual machine that you will be accessing in your lab. So you click on copy to copy the link and then select done. After doing that, what you will need to do is open, let's see if I can do it on this screen. You will need to select the search window option right here. And then once that comes up, you're going to type in RDP, Robert, David, Peter. Once you do that, you're going to see a message for the remote desktop connection. And the remote desktop connection looks something like this on Windows systems. I am hoping that you are able to use a Windows system for this lab to connect to the lab. So once you get the remote desktop connection window to come up, all you need to do is most likely this field, the computer field, will be blank for you. In my case, since I access several Windows systems in the cloud, I already have a populated field with a different name for a different system. So I'm gonna replace this with the copy, with a link that I copy from this window, the one behind me. And I'm going to paste it here and then click on connect. But I'm gonna wait a little bit more for this VM virtual machine to complete the boot up process. As you can see, it is starting, should be ready now. So I'm going to click on connect. It's gonna try to connect. So if the computer is almost ready, the connection will be accepted. If it is not ready, it will be rejected, like it is rejected right now. So I need to be patient and wait a little bit more. And now let's give it another shot. And it is ready for me to log on. I will be distributing the credentials, the username and the password. As you can see, and the distribution of the username and password will be on the Blackboard announcement page. So you're gonna see that on the Blackboard page. So the username is ethical, the password is cyber security lab, and you're gonna see how I am spelling that. There you go. So C is uppercase, E in cyber is the number 3, security, the E in security is also the number 3, and the A in lab is the @ symbol. And again, this will be posted on Blackboard for you to see. And then you click on OK. And if everything is ready, you should be able to see this message. Do not worry about this message, just disregard it. It's a warning. You can click on yes. And then once you click on yes, this window will come up. I have 2 monitors. That is why you see the need for me to bring the other window from my second monitor into this monitor that I am displaying now. And this is a Windows Server 2019 virtual machine. That is what you are accessing in the Microsoft Cloud. Once you get this message, you're going to disregard the pop-up window. You're going to close Server Manager as well. And this is the first step, which is even prior to you accessing any of the instructions for the labs that are your assignments for this week. And you will have 2 labs that you need to complete. Prior to conducting the steps on those 2 labs that I will be posting instructions for on Blackboard, you will need to complete the following steps that I am depicting in this demonstration video. So once you gain access to the Windows Server 2019 virtual VM, what I need you to do is maximize the window so you can see the taskbar here on the bottom, and you're going to search for routing and remote access. So as soon as you type in routing in the search field, this will come up and you will need to click on that option, and this is the routing and remote access window. What I need you to do in order to gain access to the internet from your VMs that I'm going to show in a few seconds or a few minutes to you, you're going to open routing and remote access, click on the arrow right next to the name of the local server. This is the name of the server that you are accessing, which is your VM. Then expand the IPv4 folder on the left. Go to NAT, Network Address Translation, and the first time around you will see only 2 entries here. What I need you to do is create a third entry here, and the way to do it is you right click, again you right click with your mouse on an empty portion of the right pane like this one, and this menu will come up. Then you select new interface, and from the new interface for network address translation window, you're going to select the interface that is labeled as Ethernet number 2. In some cases, you may see Ethernet number 3. So either one will need to be the one that you select, Ethernet 2 or Ethernet 3. You will see one or the other. Disregard the one that says internal for lab, do not select internal for lab. Select the one that says Ethernet 2 or Ethernet 3. And then once it is selected, click on OK. Here you will need access to the internet, so you're going to click on public internet interface connected to the internet, and you're going to select enable NAT on this interface. And then click on apply, and then click on OK. That is all that I need you to do as a prerequisite to gain access to the internet from your VMs. Okay, so once you completed that, you're going to minimize it for a few minutes. And now you're going to open Server Manager. So you type in server, and Server Manager is one of the options that will come up first on the list. You select Server Manager to open it. Once it is open, you're going to close this pop-up window, and you're going to go to the Tools menu and select Hyper-V Manager. Once you select Hyper-V Manager, you're going to see all the VMs that I set up for you. I just maximized this window. That is why you saw the change in size for the window. There are different virtual machines that I have set up in this lab for you. Kali Linux, Metasploitable, Ubuntu Desktop, Windows 10, Windows 11, and Windows Server 2019. These are virtual machines that reside on the single system that I have given you to access for the lab. So what you're going to do for lab number 1 and lab number 2 is just go to Windows Server 2019, select it, right-click it, and then click on Start. That is going to start your Windows Server 2019. You're going to double click on that virtual machine, and this will come up. As you can see, the Windows Server 2019 system is booting up. You need to be patient. And once you get to the login screen, at that point, you will be all set for the beginning of lab number 1. So these are the prerequisite steps that you will need to complete prior to executing the instructions that are part of lab number 1 in the document that I posted on Blackboard. Again, make sure that you complete these prerequisite steps before you begin the execution of the steps in the lab number 1 instruction document that I posted on Blackboard. Thank you very much.